Do you dream of financial freedom and building a prosperous future? The Richest Man in Babylon is not just a book, it's a compass that will guide you on the path to abundance. Through parables set in ancient Babylon, George S. Clason reveals timeless principles about saving, investing, and creating wealth. This summary invites you to dive into his teachings, not only to understand them, but to apply them in your daily life. Get ready to discover how to transform your finances, because we'll break down the book's key ideas and show you how to implement them step by step. So let's get started. The story begins with Arkad, a scribe who yearns for wealth. His friend Kobbi, a musician, shares his frustration with the lack of gold in their lives. They decide to seek advice from Algamish, the richest man in Babylon. Algamish doesn't give them money, but wisdom. It teaches them that the path to wealth is not magical, but based on simple and consistent principles. Although it is only an introduction, its message is powerful as it invites us to reflect on our desire for prosperity and advises us to actively seek knowledge and guidance to achieve it, rather than waiting for wealth to arrive on its own. We will divide this summary into two parts. In the first part, we will present the so-called 7 cures for a lean purse, which breaks down the pillars of Algamish's financial wisdom. In the second part, we present the 7 advice related to cures. Part 1. The 7 cures for a lean purse. First cure, start fattening your purse. The first and most crucial rule is to save at least 1/10 of all your earnings. If you earn 10 coins, save 1. This simple action, repeated consistently, is the foundation of wealth accumulation. For example, if you are a worker earning a monthly salary, imagine that 10% of your salary is untouchable and deposit it into a separate savings account. Over time, that sum will grow significantly. In line with these ideas, you should consider prioritizing saving at least 10% of your income, treating it as an essential payment to yourself. Second cure, control your spending. Differentiate between your wants and your needs. The book emphasizes that many people spend everything they earn and more. Learning to live below your means is critical. For example, if you are tempted to buy the latest cell phone when yours is still working perfectly, ask yourself if it is a need or a want. Controlling these impulses allows you to allocate more money to savings and investments. Based on the ideas in this chapter, you should consider creating a budget to identify and reduce unnecessary expenses, focusing on your real needs. Third, cure. Make your money grow. Once you have savings, the next step is to invest them so they generate more income. Your money should work for you. So, instead of keeping your money under the mattress, which means leaving it idle or even losing value due to inflation, invest it in something that generates interest or profits, such as a business, property, or financial instruments. The ideas in this chapter invite us to consider looking for opportunities to invest our savings, making our money generate more money. Fourth, protect your treasures from loss. Don't be seduced by investments that promise quick and disproportionate returns. Do your research and be cautious with your money. Before investing in a scheme that seems too good to be true, do your research thoroughly and seek expert advice. This chapter encourages you to conduct thorough research and seek professional advice before making any investment. Fifth cure, make your home a profitable investment. Owning your home can be a smart investment, as it saves you rent and can appreciate over time. While not everyone can afford to buy a home right away, the idea is to consider saving for a home as an important financial goal, as it can be a valuable asset in the long run. In line with the ideas in this chapter, you should consider investing in real estate, especially your own home, as a long-term strategy. Sixth cure, ensure a future income. Plan for your old age and the protection of your family. This includes long-term investments and insurance. If you're young, start contributing to a pension fund or retirement savings plan, because this will allow you to accumulate considerable wealth for when you stop working. Seventh cure, increase your earning ability. The more knowledge and skills you acquire, the greater your earning potential. If you're a carpenter, learning new woodworking techniques or how to design custom furniture can increase the value of your work and, therefore, your income. In line with the ideas in this chapter, you should consider continually investing in your education and skill development to increase your earning capacity. Part 2. The 7 advice related to the 7 cures. The first advice is titled, The Goddess of Good Luck. Here, the relationship between luck and action is explored. The Goddess of Good Luck favors those who act and seek opportunities, not those who simply wait for fortune to fall from the sky. It emphasizes that luck is often the result of preparation and opportunity. In a nutshell, this section invites us to be proactive and prepared to seize opportunities, recognizing that luck often arises from action and planning. The second advice presents the so-called 5 laws of gold. In this part, the author develops 5 points for the protection and growth of gold, personifying money and its principles. Here they are briefly. First point. Gold comes willingly and in ever-increasing quantities to those who set aside no less than 1/10 of their earnings to create an estate for their future and that of their family. It is a repetition of the first cure, emphasizing the importance of constant saving. Second point. Gold works diligently and profitably for the wise owner who prudently puts it to work. Similar to Make Your Gold Multiply, it highlights the importance of intelligent investment. 3. Gold clings to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it according to the advice of wise men in its management. Prudence and expert advice are crucial to avoid losses. 4. Gold flees from the person who invests it in businesses or purposes that are unfamiliar to him or that are not approved by those who are experts in its preservation. It warns against risky investments or investments in unknown areas. 5. Gold flees from the person who forces it to obtain impossible profits or who obeys the deceptive advice of swindlers and charlatans, or who relies on his own inexperience. It underscores the importance of avoiding unrealizable promises and the need to be humble in the face of a lack of knowledge. Simple, but wise, don't you think? So consider following the golden laws to protect and grow your wealth by being diligent with your savings, investing wisely, and seeking expert advice. After these 5 points, the author continues with the third advice, entitled The Gold Lender of Babylon. In this section, the author tells the story of Mathan, a moneylender whose business thrives by lending gold fairly to those with the ability to repay it. The importance of trust and responsible debt is emphasized. Loans should be for productive purposes that generate a return and allow for repayment. The idea of this advice is linked to using debt intelligently and productively, ensuring that any loan helps you generate more value or income. The fourth advice appears under a section titled The Walls of Babylon. It is a parable that illustrates the importance of protection and foresight. Just as the walls protected Babylon from invaders, your finances should be protected against unforeseen events. This refers to having an emergency fund and insurance. In keeping with the ideas in this advice, you should consider building a solid emergency fund and obtaining adequate insurance to protect yourself and your assets from unexpected events. The fifth advice is developed under the title, The Camel Trader of Babylon. It tells the story of Dabasir, a camel trader who finds himself deeply in debt, but who learns to pay off his debts by allocating a portion of his income to his creditors. The story emphasizes the importance of meeting your financial commitments and the peace of mind that comes with freedom from debt. This advice invites us to consider creating a plan to pay off our debts in a disciplined manner, freeing ourselves from financial burdens and building credibility. In the sixth advice, titled The Clay Tablets of Babylon, clay tablets containing Arkad's advice to his son Nomasir are discovered and translated. Nomasir, at first reluctant and uninterested in his father's advice, eventually adopts the principles and prospers. The story emphasizes perseverance and passing on financial knowledge to future generations. This advice encourages us to document and pass on our financial learning, and to be persistent in applying the principles of wealth, even when the results aren't immediate. The seventh advice is developed under the title, The Luckiest Man in Babylon. Here, the narrative concludes with the story of Sharu-Nada, who, despite his humble origins, becomes a man of great wealth thanks to the consistent application of Algamish principles. It is a reaffirmation that wealth is the result of discipline, patience, and continuous action, not blind luck. This advice invites us to maintain discipline and patience on our financial path, understanding that the accumulation of wealth is a gradual and constant process. In conclusion, The Richest Man in Babylon is more than just a set of advice. It is a philosophy of life. Its lessons, although presented in an ancient context, are surprisingly relevant today. If you apply these principles diligently and consistently, you will see your own lean purse begin to fatten, your debts diminish, and your financial future become brighter. Start building your wealth today, because the power of abundance is within reach of those who decide to take control of their financial destiny. Are you ready to transform your life and become the architect of your prosperity? If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more information.